Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Graviteam video. Today we're going over armor penetration. Have you ever wondered why your bullets, your shells of tanks and pack guns graze or ricochet off a tank, or why they're not penetrating the armor? Well, we're going to get right into that right now, right out into this video. Let's conquer the battlefield. Alright, let's select our tank, which is way up on this hill. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. This little button right here, the line of fire tool. So let's start with the beginning. If you right click it, it's going to cycle through different targets: infantry, prone infantry, and then tanks. We are dealing primarily with tanks today. So right now, if we just click this, let's turn that off so we can go over that. It's not going to lock onto really any target, but if we click on it, suddenly we're locked on. Now if we click off, it becomes unlocked and we can cycle our targets again. Alright, these of course are our dummy tanks sitting out in the middle of the field. Line of fire also tells us the meters. We're around 738 away with an accuracy of 52%. Alright, now let's bring up that graph you just saw. If you click this right curly brace, it's going to toggle a horizontal and a vertical graph. The vertical graph is going to be angled towards the vehicle that you are aiming from. So if we look at it head on from our tank, we're not going to see the vertical graph. See? Now if we switch to our pack guns that are from a different angle, turn it on, see? We see it again, we see the horizontal, but it's also angled a bit differently. If we click on it, you'll see the angle. See how it's not as perpendicular? It's because of where our vehicle is located. Just a fun little tip. Alright, so let's go back to our tank. Let's click line of fire, and it's locked on already. If we click off, unlocked. Let's just click lock on. Alright, rumor has it that if you right click this graph, it cycles different parts of the tank. I think it's not doing it because I don't have the whole tank visible yet, which makes no sense. We'll move past it though. So right here we have the hull selected. So this is our penetration model for the hull. Here you have different dashed lines. You have yellow, red, green. These correspond to different rounds or ammunition in our tank. And then here you have a red dot. So this red dot is the distance. It is from us, see, 732, red dot, and then an arrow. All right. So anything above this red dot is going to penetrate this tank. So let's switch to our pack gun so we can see another example. See? Anything, our pack guns are going to do no damage to any of these tanks. So all we're going to get is a bunch of grazing shots and no penetration. Right? So here's our penetration model. We would need it to be far closer and probably a different tank. So for guns, they're rather useless in this conflict. Probably best to save their ammo in a scenario. Alright, let's grab this tank. Now let's go over our horizontal. There's not really too much to say about the vertical other than the distance. The main takeaway is this red dot and these dashed lines. Anything above the red dot's going to penetrate the tank. Anything below it is not going to. Alright, here we have a horizontal graph. So in the book, page 60, by the way, 60, 61, it shows dashed lines on these vertical lines. Here, we cannot see them. So let's confirm that with this. Yes. All right. That's a bummer. So I think that's just a graphic error. I'm not quite sure. I'll see if I can figure it out. But normally you're going to see dashed lines, and each dashed line is going to represent 100 meters. You can kind of use this, but I think it's just not very useful. But here we have our penetration models. All right. So same thing as the vertical graph. You have red, you have green, yellow, and another green. So if you hit, say you have a round come in at this angle, if it's the yellow round, which we'd have to look at our vertical graph, which is a, let me back it up. Goodness gracious. A PG-39 round, or it doesn't say. Fantastic. Anyway, So let's just go green or red. If you have a PG-39 round come in at this angle right here, it's going to glance off the tank and ricochet. Same if it comes in at this angle right here. So this is where optimal positioning comes in. Whereas if you have that round come in at this angle, I guess it does cycle a little bit. It's going to penetrate the tank. Same with the yellow. Yellow, you have different penetration values. Now let's grab our pack guns. Do the same thing. Right here. Right? We have no penetration, but this is the angle that it would need to hit. Right? Just extremely extreme. Like yellow, that yellow round is not going to penetrate anything on the hull. Whereas the green, you have a bit more leeway. Then we have a different tank. Right here. It's going to completely obliterate this tank. And then we have another tank, a Panzer IV. It's going to... Let's take a look. Let's consult our graph. Goodness, sorry. Please stay. Alright, all our green rounds are going to destroy this tank. If it shoots this gun right here, it's going to do absolutely nothing. There's our Panzer IVs. Let's look at our ultimate destroyers. My lord. There they are. This tank's pretty much, if it gets hit at any angle, but it has no line of sight. Do any of our tanks? Ooh, no line of sight, but we could obliterate this tank if we did. So, good, fantastic to know. So let's engage in this battle, alright? So here we have our tanks. Let's turn fire at will on. And let's hit play. Give it a moment. They should begin raining fire onto this tank, and let's see if they even hit. Obviously, with the here they come. There's that. Oh, let's see. Is it going to fire again? Let's pause. All right. Let's grab a tank. Let's grab this, and let's take a look. All right, we saw some grazes right there. That was actually really cool. That tank is dead. It's no longer going to let us select it. Oh, we had to look at, I was going to try and pull up the grazes and stuff and like what penetrated and what didn't, but that's an after battle thing. All right, and just like that, we have an obliterated tank. So, if you have any further questions, this video was meant to be a lot shorter. Let me know. That's how you pull up your graph. So remember, it's line of sight right here. Lock on if you would like, or you can have it turned off and just glide it over. Click on it to lock on. Hit the curly brace to turn the graph on and off. Look, hit 100%, accuracy 78. All right, guys, that's all this video was meant to be. Peace out.